Right? I am so over it. Next.
A radio? Next.
No buffering, just your favorite local radio station?
Next Radio uses the FM tuner that is already built into your phone, so you can listen to your favorite stations on the go. Because Next Radio uses the FM tuner already built into your smartphone, it saves on data and battery usage. When compared to streaming audio, Next Radio uses less than a tenth of your data, and your battery will last 3 times longer. Next Radio, it's FM radio on your smartphone.
Introducing a radio inside your cell phone. Listen to all kinds of local radio stations, including KCAA 106.5 Yucaipa and 102.3 Riverside on Next Radio. Download the free Next Radio app today. 100% free, 100% fun, 0% buffering. Stop the buffer and listen to KCAA.
Locals in Loma Linda and Redlands all know and love the Family Homestyle Cafe, the home of the world's largest pancakes and the delicious mouth-watering food cooked up daily by their well-trained chefs. Sizzling thick-cut bacon, ham, and hand-pressed sausage. They take pride in the best quality, great economical values, with better portions served up with the pride of local ownership and great service. Near the corner of Anderson and Redlands Boulevard in Loma Linda, if you haven't tried out Chef Mark's Delights, you haven't had some of the best food in the area. And now, Chef Mark is upgrading his cafe and offering space for on-site gatherings, luncheons, and parties. Add a DJ for a great holiday party or luncheon, and you've got a no-fuss event with all the bells and whistles. Call Mark today at 909-478-9996. That's 909-478-9996. Or stop by the Homestyle Cafe in Loma Linda at Anderson and Redlands Boulevard.
Miss your favorite show? Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
Off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon, broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, with UBN Radio TV, Universal Broadcasting Network, Tuesdays at noon, and then every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 4 on my syndicated CNBC, NBC News Radio channel KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and everywhere on iHeartRadio. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, even though scandal is recorded here, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And it is a very, very special day today for many reasons. The first reason is it is my 6th year on the air, on camera, and I am so grateful to be here. And I am so grateful for all of you who continue to let me splatter more hope and happiness over you on camera and through your earphones. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I'm going to start with my peace in, peace out before I introduce my very special guest that I got just to celebrate today. So last week it was 7 red carpets in 5 days. So I'll try to do this really quick. Yes, I juice my life. First at April Sutton's Diversity Annual Gala that honors the consulate celebrities from countries around the world. I also got to meet one of the Supremes, Sherry Payne, a senior VP of Motown, Berry Gordy's niece, Iris Gordy, Ola Ray, Michael Jackson's dance partner in the Thriller music video, who was introduced to me by Billy Tusher, the former owner of Rolling Stones magazine. And then that same night, I drove from Marina del Rey to Newport Beach Film Festival opening night, and then 3 days at Revelation 2018, interviewing mass motivator Lisa Nichols, who's been on my show, the mayor of Atlantic City, Frank Gilliam, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and of course my big brother, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, and many more. And then last night, I was out late doing introducing the Chinese Spotlight film and partying at the Pacific Rim as one of the sponsors at the Newport Beach Film Festival, Chinese Spotlight Film. So peace in and peace out to all the fabulous people I met there, including Pierce Brosnan and his wife, Keely, who were presenting the Poisoning Hawaii film, which was amazing. And they're going to be coming on the air with me to talk about that. So please go to my Dr. Marissa page and give me the finger, thumbs up, so that you can stay in touch with me with all of these, and you can watch the interviews as well as my YouTube, where you get the full interview, and subscribe for free and continue to support me through that. My excellent customer service, peace in, peace outs, go to Russ Bendel, owner of Olia Cellar, and the Asian Oprah giveaway that he's offering today is $100 gift certificate to his restaurant. So I am the first person to go to drmarissa.tv, fill in the contact and say, I want to eat, will get that $100 gift certificate. And then to all the staff at JP European Auto, thank you for taking care of Sterling, my new beautiful Jaguar convertible. And the reason why I give excellent customer service is I want to balance out all of the negative complaining that's going on. But now, without further ado, I am so delighted to introduce you to someone who really put a smile on my face growing up. She's best known as the mom from Happy Days, but she's also an amazing, she's been nominated for Golden Globes and won awards and Emmys, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, Marissa, Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. Oh. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Oh.
You're a wonderment. And you're a Canadian.
I am a Canadian.
And my mother was a Canadian.
From Saskatchewan.
Right.
I know, that's amazing. We come from good stock. I saw a Canadian cartoon one time about someone protesting, right? And he had a sign that said, I protest. And he was just walking. So,
yeah.
but we left because we're too animated, right, for the country.
My mother was so important to me because I was raised as you can be anything.
Yes.
So I thought, I will, Mama. I will.
Yes.
I will.
Yeah, yeah. So you've had quite the career. You started, your film debut was in 1953 with Forever Female. You were born in Minnesota. You became famous for that, but you've never retired. You were on the Drew Carey Show, Touched by an Angel, Nurse Jackie, The Middle, and if that isn't enough, you have a book that you just released.
I
so
do.
You're the pot calling the kettle black as far as the things that I get to do. I want to grow up to be just like you. So what keeps you that active and loving and lovable and happy? You're very high vibration. I'm very lucky to actually have her here in the studio, and as soon as I met her, she just reached her hand out and went and gave me a kiss. I'm like, I am in love. I mean, she is so beautiful inside and out. So what's your secret?
What is my aura? Right, what is my aura?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
No, and you know what it is? I'm a middle child, and my brother, Gordon, was a crippled boy. So and I'm the second little girl. I think about that a lot. I thought, if it weren't for him, and I told him that at one point, I said, I owe everything to you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be me. And now I love me, you know. But that took quite a while to fall in love with yourself.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little. I saw a little bit in somewhere where I was reading that you had a little bit of an inferiority complex. I mean, you were around and working and rubbing shoulders and talking and eating with some iconic names.
You must have read my book. Did you read my book? Right.
I don't know if I was supposed to get a free copy, but I got one. No.
It's called My Days. Happy and otherwise. No, I was under contract to Paramount by the time I was 22. When you think, coming from Minnesota, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
a lot of drive. But I was pretty intimidated by, when I was under contract to Paramount, everybody was there on the lot. They weren't off on location. C.B. DeMille was sitting around the corner in this little alcove at lunch, you know, and Marlene Dietrich would come sweeping into the dining room. And up in makeup one morning, there's a girl under the dryer, and she pushes up the dryer and gets up. And it was Audrey Hepburn.
She's my favorite.
She was just my age. Oh. I went right out and got 2 candy bars and ate them right away. It's like, you want to kill yourself.
Oh, oh. So then what happened? What was that journey like where you got to?
Well, after a long year with many experiences there, I got dropped. It was a 7-year contract with options.
Okay.
Oh, I was relieved. I was more comfortable to be dropped. But I had my agent, and now he sent me on interviews. And the first job I got was because I was an actress, and I loved having different accents. So I played an Irish maid on the series Life with Father live, because I was trained to the stage. Live at CBS with Leon Ames and Lorene Tuttle. And that was the beginning of my relationship with CBS. Because everything was done live in those days. And that was very exciting.
Wonderful, wonderful. So then that helped you feel more secure in your own abilities, would you say?
But still, I was a shy kind of person. It's funny, like lots of actors, there's a shy person inside. I don't see that in you. I know.
What?
I don't think there's a shy kid in there.
I am shy. Sarcasm is another service I offer. No, really. No. But I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of actors and actresses who are introverts.
We are.
But they've learned how to be
We want to be somebody other than ourselves. So it's like,
which is why you act.
I would meet people and I would think, in fact, I have a story. I said, when I was like in the second grade, there was a little girl, and then the cutest way of talking, it was so interesting, and I just loved it. So I started talking exactly the same way, and right away we were both sent to a remedial speech class, and I snapped right out of it. You know? And she is there to this day.
Oh, that's a great story.
When and my children would say, "Mother, you watch people, you stare at people, and I'm so sorry. I'm so interested in them."
Right. So you had the acting skill you were ingrained already from a very early age. You kind of knew that.
Well, the skill comes, with years and years.
Right.
You know.
Right. What did your parents think of you wanting to be an actress?
My mother said, "Don't pay too much attention to Marion because she's going to be an actress." You know.
So she encouraged it.
Yeah, oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I also heard that you changed your name, the spelling of your name, from Marianne, A-N, to O-N, because it would look better on the marquee. I love
did.
that.
So when I got my little prayer book, and there's my name on there, I thought, no, this is not going to look good. So I would change the O and make it Mary-On instead of Marianne.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's funny. So anything we should know about Happy Days that we don't know? That's another nice way of saying, is there any dirt? And so I'm going to break my no gossip rule because it is my 6-year anniversary. I'm just kidding. Potsy said that, Anson Williams said that it was a really great time on there, and there wasn't a lot of stuff.
No. Did I congratulate you on your 6 years? This is a lovely thing for you, darling.
Yes.
Lovely.
And I really, when Harlan told me that you were available for interviews, it was a while back, and I said, I don't want to have her until my 6-year celebration. So I hope you
How
know
nice.
you were handpicked for today.
Well, you know, Happy Days was a very wonderful place for all of us. And you know, we had a softball team. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Anson didn't tell you about
No,
the
he did not.
Well, for some reason, Gary Marshall had this genius idea. But this kept us so together because we had to play softball
As a team.
Yeah, right. And like Ron Howard is a very good athlete, so he was right field. They took Henry Winkler, and Ron trained Henry, who was a New York kid, never played ball in his life, taught him to be the pitcher.
Wow, that's so cool.
Can you believe it?
Yeah,
And
this is clean dirt.
everybody in our cast was a good ball player. I mean, I don't think you could be in the cast if you weren't a
That
good
is
ball
great.
player.
That
we
is
played
great.
all the major fields in the United States.
That's awesome.
And then we went to the East German border and played with U.S. infantry up in Gebelstadt on the top of where Hitler had been up there.
Really?
And they were doing war games, and they had like makeup on. And the boys were all lined up and doing war drills. Here comes the cast of Happy Days, and with our red jackets and everything, and they can't move a muscle because they're in a war game thing.
Wow.
So I hugged all those boys. You know.
Wow, that is so
It's been a wonderful life for me.
beautiful. It was, what, 11 years? No,
Yes,
11 years,
seasons.
11 seasons.
Yeah.
And in those days, there were actually numerous numbers of shows in a season instead of the
There would be
yes.
like 22.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marianne, Don Wells was talking about, you know, in the old days, how many episodes in 1 year in a season is vastly different than it is now. And what would you say, what do you miss the most about that show?
I don't miss it at all.
Oh. Good. Okay. All right, we're going there.
I got everything out of it.
You juiced it all.
Right.
You got it all.
Because I did a wonderful series, because I'm an actor.
Yes.
I did a series called Brooklyn Bridge. You may not have heard of it. I played a Jewish Polish grandmother with accent, with everything. I became so Jewish. I said, I one day I listened to this woman in a store, and I said, "Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? I wish I were Jewish." And she staggered back. She said, nobody had ever said that to her before, you know. But
Yeah, not your
you know, it
usual.
is so wonderful to be other people.
Yeah. Here's an aside. My mom was adopted by a Russian Jewish woman, so I'm actually Russian Jewish.
there you
through
are.
the mother's
There
line.
you are.
I have an Uncle Moishi, an Aunt Ethel, and an Aunt Penny. Just so you
See?
know. So
Lovely.
you never know.
Yeah.
But okay, so you don't miss it. Oh, you actually got a nomination for that Brooklyn Bridge, I think.
I
right?
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Did you? That was a Grammy? No, I mean Grammy.
No.
An
An
Emmy?
Emmy.
It was an Emmy.
Emmy.
Yeah. Wrong industry.
And then I got nominated for an Emmy when I was with Shirley MacLaine, and we did The Evening Star, which is the second episode of what?
The second episode of
the original was.
okay.
Anyway,
Anyways.
anybody out
What-
there
what-
listening will know.
Yeah.
Shirley MacLaine won Academy Award for the first part, so that was interesting too.
Yeah. What is she like?
Difficult.
Really?
I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we're not going there. And next, so let's put the moose on the table. I know that it was tough for you when Aaron passed, and so I wanted to. Who was it? Someone came on with me, and we were talking about how difficult it is without support to even be part of this thing called Hollywood. And whether it was cancer or whether it was drug abuse or whatever it was, the truth is, and Corey Feldman's been on here. It's not an easy road, right? There's not a clear support
I think
system.
isn't Ron Howard a wonderful example? of how you can survive this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I attribute so much to his wonderful father, who just passed away several months ago.
Okay.
Rance Howard.
Uh-huh.
What a difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Little Aaron's parents loved it, you know. Came to all our parties, stayed all night, so it's a whole, it depends on who's raising you, you know.
Mm-hmm. On the balance.
To balance.
Yeah.
Because you could find that with any adult. Look at how many adults have trouble handling themselves in this business.
Right.
It's short term. It's all of a rush, and then there's nothing. It's up and down. Can you take it? Can you take it? And all the time I kept thinking to myself, can you take this? I think, you know, you could have nerves of steel and an ego that can go, take a beating.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're in the limelight. you know?
Yeah. I always say a bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. And that's how I get through it. And
That's
baking your own cake. You have to be able to validate yourself. At the end of the day, have I done the best that I can with the time that I have and the resources I have? And then it doesn't matter who says that you're a whatever, right?
When I was under contract at Paramount, I would watch. I was always very watchful. I would watch. I would think, ooh, no, not that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm still here at
Yes.
89.
At
you know?
89. I put down 90 in my social media because I read somewhere it was 90. So I should have believed Wikipedia it was 89, but you're going to be 90 years young in 6 months. And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering why my guest looks just a little familiar, it's because she has not even aged at all. My guest today is Marion Ross, the iconic mom, Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, here to celebrate my 6 years on the air on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And we're just having a lovely chat, getting to know each other, although I do feel like we've been friends for a while.
Well, now listen, doctor.
Yes.
What is your doctorate in?
So I have a PhD in organizational psychology. So, and you know what PhD stands for, right? Well, you know what BS is bull shiitake. MS is more shiitake, Master of Science. And PhD is just piled higher and deeper. So don't give me too much credit.
All right.
But it's a field that looks at how people and organizations get along or they don't. So power, politics, miscommunication, conflict, which makes me very ready in Hollywood.
No, this is what's fun to be an actor, because I'm so interested in the dynamic of people
you're
relating
very
to one
observant.
another. Yes,
very observant.
I observe, and because I think, I would like to be you.
I would like you to be me.
I would like to be you.
You look, try it. Be me. You cannot be shy, and you have to kind of step in it every once in a while.
I don't think I could be so verbal. You're very articulate. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love you. So where can we find your book? First of all, I know we're going to talk about that when we come back from break, but
Amazon.com.
And it's Happy Days.
Happy Days. No, it's called My Days.
My
Happy
Days.
and
dot.
otherwise.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
otherwise, yeah.
And you're on a whirlwind book tour.
I am.
She gets, I was just talking to her beautiful publicist and assistant, Gwen.
Gwen Barone is my assistant. She's been with me for 26 years, and now she runs everything, and she tells me what to do. So,
keeps you in there.
Yes.
And you're going to San Francisco after this. You have 1 or 2 interviews every day.
I know.
Yeah, and you don't get tired?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what would you say your life motto is? What keeps you ticking? What keeps you fresh and exciting and excited? What do you do?
I don't have it all in a capsule. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
You know? So,
yes.
And I'm just very interested in other people because maybe I'll be you.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I could be you.
Yes.
I'm not so keen on being myself. You know.
And what do you say to people who aren't happy with themselves? How would you?
I wouldn't be jumping in there. I wouldn't be giving them advice, but I do tell people that you can be anything, because that's the way my mother raised me. You know, you can do it. You can do it.
Yes,
whatever
and
it is
that's
you
exactly
wanna
what I
do.
wanted you to say.
Whatever you want to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what advice would you give to people who want to get in the industry?
Well, thank God. Look how big it is now. Oh, it's so wide open. And if you do go to college and university, okay, then you can do wonderful work there.
Right.
It's a wide open world, much bigger than when I did it. In fact, nobody when I started was going to be an actor in college.
Yeah. What are your favorite memories of people that you've worked with, and not so favorite memories?
Well, I worked with Clark Gable on Teacher's Pet, and he was an absolute darling. And I have a wonderful picture in my book with him. And I worked with Cary Grant on Operation Petticoat. We all went to Florida with the Pink Submarine, and Tony Curtis, and that was wonderful. And like sitting up on the conning tower one day, it was against the moor, moored up, and we thought we were going to go out and shoot, in the submarine. And I said to Cary Grant, he came up and sat beside me on the conning tower, and I said, I don't think I should go down in the submarine because I'm this much pregnant. I'm too much pregnant. 2 months pregnant. He said, "You are," and he started to cry.
Oh,
right. So that's my son Jim Meskimen, who is an actor. He's a wonderful actor.
Oh, beautiful.
So that we had that moment together.
Oh, and you have 2 kids, right?
I have 2 kids. My daughter Ellen Kramer was a writer producer on Friends.
Really?
And my daughter used to say to me, "Mother, you hurt my feelings. You're so shocked that I'm doing this." I said, "Well," I said, "it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal."
That's wonderful. So they've followed you.
They have. I didn't want them to, and they didn't
Why?
until. Well, it's not something you would encourage people to do, would you? No, I don't think so.
Well, let's talk about that. What is it that happens? I mean, I think the global or the bigger context that I'm trying to get at, with all this stuff going on with Weinstein and all this craziness and all this coming out of the woodwork and the horrible things that can happen. Is that why?
No, it's the percentage of success. Okay. It's a hard road to hoe.
Okay.
You're not. Your chances are very slim. Like 1% of population makes a living in Screen Actors Guild. Like 1%.
You mean 1% of the
members
people
of
the
members
I didn't know that.
of SAG?
Wow.
Because there's thousands of members. All right. This is not going to be easy. So you almost have to be compelled beyond what you can
have to
believe.
really want it.
And you would understand that, because I'm sure you are like that.
Yeah, you have to really want it.
Could anyone have stopped you?
No.
Or me?
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't in a good way, you don't care what people think. Like, what you think of me is none of your business and none of my business.
I don't even know if that plays into it, because you care terribly.
Yeah. Okay. That was a fib. So I'm putting the moose on the table. That's my Canadian version of elephant in the room, by the way. Just in case you were wondering why I kept saying that. So you have to really want it, and you have to care enough. It depends on who,
right? It has to be gut level. It has like you're going to die. If I would be with some other young people that were so talented, I couldn't bear it.
Well, your reaction when you saw Audrey Hepburn, right?
I could hardly bear it.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
And then you just do it anyway. Gospel according to Nike.
Just keep on doing it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Any regrets?
None.
Yes.
Oh, isn't that
I knew she
something?
was going to say that. I knew she was going to say that.
None.
Yes, that's the way to live, and that's why you look the way
I
you
have a
do.
wonderful life, and I always joke. I say, I have every penny I ever made. Which isn't quite true. But I did a play with Jean Stapleton. She said, "Why do you say that to people?" Why do you tell? I said, "I want people to believe that."
I love your sense of humor. You're very funny. You're very funny. So, are your siblings still around?
Oh, my children are. My son Jim is tremendously successful. He's in a commercial that you may have seen.
Mm-hmm.
He plays George Washington being hauled across the freeway in a boat for Geico.
Yes. That's a funny
my
commercial.
son Jim.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
Ellen Kramer is now producing a brand new pilot. She's got it in the can. It's all done for ABC.
Wow.
I don't know the name of it, but
that's okay.
So they're editing that. They're finishing that. So everybody,
beautiful.
Everybody in the family.
Great. And your brother is still around the one?
No, my
okay.
darling brother died.
Yeah. What's his name?
Gordon.
I think that
Ross.
was a beautiful tribute that you gave it. And
it was wonderful. He came to my house. This was years ago, and he was helping me paint. And we got the rollers. We're painting the walls.
Wait, I thought you said he was crippled.
He is crippled,
Oh, but he can paint.
But he only just has one peg leg. They had to take off the lower part of his leg.
Okay.
When he was like about 16, and then he got a fake leg.
Okay.
Well, he got more mileage out of that fake leg. One time he's driving and the policeman pulls him over and he said, policeman says to him, "Get out of the car." He said, "Well, I can't because my leg is in the trunk." Anyway.
Now we know that sense of humor runs in the family.
Right,
yes.
right.
And I just got the signal from my fabulous sound engineer today and owner of Universal Broadcasting Network, Tony Sweet, that it's time for a commercial break to thank the sponsors who make this show possible today. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
No way! I'm so cool. I'm so hot. I'm so hungry. I'm so full.
Did that complaining sound familiar to you? Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa, your cheerleader for hope and happiness 88% of the time. And they also call me the Asian Oprah. Well, I have a perfect app for you if you want to lose negative weight and stop complaining. Yes, the 21-day Fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa app is now available. Every day you'll get a balanced tip that keeps you from complaining, as well as some sound effects. If you do complain and you press a button, it will give you a sound to keep you from complaining. And if you make it the entire day without complaining, you'll get a nice warm applause. And there's a YouTube link also to help you not complain. And then at the end of the 21 days, because it takes 21 days to create a good habit, you'll get an overall score as well as a way to post your triumph with your friends and family on Facebook. So don't complain, have fun, and remember it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Peace in, peace out.
Love films? Support diversity? Then come to the Newport Beach Film Festival, a prestigious multicultural event attracting over 55,000 attendees and screening over 350 films in 8 days. Orange County's largest entertainment event will run April 26th to May 3rd, and yours truly, Dr. Marissa, will be introducing the Chinese Spotlight film on April 30th. So for the best in new, local, internationally, and critically acclaimed cinema, get your tickets at NewportBeachFilmFest.com. That's NewportBeachFilmFest.com.
Weekly talk radio show. That's also TV because of the cameras. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon on UBN Radio TV, broadcasting live out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, and then syndicated on my CNBC, NBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 4,
and everywhere on iHeartRadio. You were so complimentary, I almost forgot what I was supposed to say. And today is a special show. It is my 6 years on the air. And because it is, I have the best guests to bring to you today. And it is the mom, Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, who kept me very happy when I was young, Marion Ross.
Now,
Da, 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 da. Do you know she's the voice from the grandmother in SpongeBob SquarePants? My daughters are going to be really
you have
impressed
daughters?
by that.
You
I have two beautiful girls.
I don't understand how you avoided becoming an actress. Was that hard?
You know what happened? I grew up Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish, but in a Chinese household, acting, modeling, singing is like stripping. You have to be either a doctor or a lawyer or a PhD. And my father was a PhD. And so from the time I was 5, I knew I was going to get a PhD. And I took 1 year off between my 2 masters. And I actually was going to be a singer. And I had interest from 5-Star Management, Sade's Management. And I got a surprise visit from my father who said, "You're good, but you're not that good. And you have to really want it because there's people out there who really, really want it, and you're not dying for it. You're just, you think you like it, but you've always wanted a PhD, so go get it." And so because of that, and I love my father, and it was the right thing to do because I'm singing now, and it's good, and I can do everything. And I love the variety of the things that I get to do. And I think you're right. That 1%, I don't know if I have that kind of tenacity to want to just do that. But if you have a role for me, I would love to work with you. But I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yes, because you have the drive, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
You must have had a wonderful father, right?
I had a beautiful father. I could fall into him. I lost him from lymphoma in 2000, but he was the guy that I could fall back into. And he's still there, loving me and supporting me from the other side. And he's laughing right now, and he's probably saying, "That's not true."
Does the audience know all about you? Do they know all this about you?
Pretty much. I'm a pretty much live out loud kind of gal.
And
Gets
you
me
have
into trouble.
two children. You have
two
two
beautiful girls.
Uh-huh.
This show's about you, not about me.
Oh, I know, but well,
they don't want to know about me. They want to know about you.
You see, that's what makes me what I am, because I'm always interested in you. I'm always interested in you. My children would say, "Mother, you stare at people. You stare," because I'm taking you apart. I'm studying you. Maybe I'll be you. Because I'll use you. Maybe I'll be you.
Yeah, you can. I think that there's a story somewhere. I have a book coming out in August called 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And I'm using this show actually to unveil it. And I was going to do it in my Balance Bar announcements at the end, but you gave me a great segue. And in that book, I do talk about everything. And I don't regret anything that happened because it made me, like you said beautifully before, everything that I am now. And even that oppressive, cultural side, I'm a Leo in 6 planets. So that would explain, right, why I need to be doing what I'm doing, right? So I love what I do. I think that maybe one day that would be, but I kind of like doing this. I like not being the center of attention.
Right. I would think writing is you're isolated. It's kind of a lonely thing. But my book, My Days, happy and otherwise. But even in my book, I think there's a little diary that I wrote when I was like maybe in the 6th grade. I said, someday I'm going to be very famous, and people are going to be just clamoring all over me because they want to talk to me, and they want, and I love to find that diary, in pencil, in this little.
You have it?
I have it. And I have the pages, especially because I.
So maybe that's the. Do you believe in law of attraction?
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's Anson talked about it too, and a lot of the actors that come on here, it's like you have a vision, like you did in your diary, of what you were going to become, and who you were going to be.
Yes.
And you may not believe in it, but it kind of came true. Right?
Yeah.
Because you fulfilled that intention.
I did, yeah.
In a big way.
Right.
In a big way.
No, I couldn't bear it. I left after the 10th grade. Because I would go in the library and read who's who of famous people. You know, these big books, who's who of famous people. And then it said they were born and then they're famous. And I thought, well, what happened? What happened in between there? Mm-hmm. How did that happen? Mm-hmm. So the desire to become somebody special was early. And then when I finished the 10th grade in high school, so you're a sophomore.
Yeah.
I said to my mother, can I go, because I would read theater arts magazines, and there would be ads for schools, and they were all in New York, excepting for one in Minneapolis, in the McPhail School of Music and Drama. Okay. And I said to my mother, can I go up to 100 miles up to Minneapolis and take care of some children and go to this school in the summer? My mother said, of course you can. So
you are just like your mother.
So yeah. Off I go, and I worked for that family and took lessons, and the family then said, will you stay for the year with us? And my mother said, of course.
Love it.
How many mothers would let you go? Now I'm 14, 15.
Wow. So she was a tremendous fall into support.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story. So would you say that you have met that goal? Do you feel special?
I do indeed.
Good.
And I think Happy Days, it puts you on the map. You want to.
Well, I mean, you say Happy Days and everybody goes, oh, yeah, I know.
They know it right
across
away.
Generations. Even the youngins, I would say, you're never going to get guess who.
Because I am SpongeBob SquarePants grandma, and that's kind of a biggie.
Yes.
I didn't know it was such a biggie.
Oh, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And you were Leslie Nielsen's wife in Superhero, right?
That was good.
And you played Sally Field's mother on Brothers and Sisters.
Yes. See, that was a fantastic series.
And Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls. I love
matriarch on that one. And that 70s show. Now we're going through. I mean, it's like you're so much more than Mrs. C. I know that you're known for Mrs. C, but this is why you have to read the book and get the pictures and all of that, because it's such a rich career. You've had, Cary Grant, Lauren Bacall, SpongeBob SquarePants. That's like a huge. That's decades of
and I always like to talk about Noel Coward. Do you know who Noel Coward is? Not so much. So that's why I don't mention it so much. A giant of the theater.
Okay.
Noel Coward.
You worked with him?
Yes.
In New York?
No, here.
Here?
We did a big production at CBS of the play that he wrote called Blithe Spirit. And in it was Lauren Bacall, Claudette Colbert, Sir Noel Coward himself, moi. And to me, that's in my book, because that's very important to me.
Beautiful. And two things that I forgot to mention. One, you were voted the most likely to be an actress, right, in high school? Something like that. I read that.
I think so.
That was
in
that.
my yearbook.
Yes, and you got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2001.
Yes.
And in 2008, they renamed and dedicated the Marion Ross Performing Arts Center in your hometown of Albert Lea.
Of Albert Lea, Minnesota.
Yeah.
The name of the theater. I mean, it was Minnesota,
Minnesota.
In fact, one of the drama teachers that I studied with in Minneapolis, she said, "You can't speak the way you do," because I had a real nice, Minnesota accent. It was real nice. So So I had to, and then she said, "You can't breathe the way you do." So now I had to breathe with my diaphragm. Now I could. By the time we got on the train to move to California, I couldn't talk at all.
That's great. That is super beautiful. So we're almost out of time. Two questions. One is, what do you hope for us as a planet right now? What do you hope for people who are living in this time? What do you wish for?
Well, being such an optimistic person.
Really?
Yes, I am. I know scientifically it's not looking good. It's not looking good in a lot of ways. But, if anything were to happen to our planet, we would just go to another one. Use another one. There's lots of them up there.
Okay. All right. All right. And then the last question is, I ask all of my guests. Before I do that, I do want to give her, because I don't give all my guests this, but you really have touched my heart. You touched my heart when I was young, because it was not an easy upbringing I had. And I have to say that I'm going to get teary here. I was only allowed 4 hours of TV a week. That was it. And yours was one of the shows that I watched. And watching it, gave me a little bit of hope and happiness in times when there wasn't a lot. So thank you.
Wait till I tell the fawns that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who and what are you? Oh, that's what. I'm going to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award.
Okay.
So that doesn't go to everyone, but it goes to people who really have made a difference on the planet, and your work and your craft and your role really has done that. You were like my mom.
Thank you, Doctor. I wish I were your mom.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wish you were too. And then the last question is, who or what are you most grateful for in your life?
That's a very hard question. There's another book, I think.
Yes. There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not going to answer the question, okay? That's okay. I am.
But you're a very easy crier. I'm an easy crier too.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we have thin emotions.
No. Tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft.
I know.
So I never apologize for crying, and I love it when people cry on my show. But I was supposed to make you cry and not vice versa. So I failed today.
I made you cry.
made me cry.
Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Yes, you're going to soon get that top spot of all the people that I've interviewed and the best shows that I've done. So thank you for coming on the air.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in front of the cameras.
I've had a wonderful time.
Marion Ross, the one and only. God bless you. He already does. All right. And we are at the end of the show, which is time to invite you to my balance bar. And I already gave you the Asian Oprah giveaway. So we'll jump on to, it is day 1 of the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa, round 83, believe it or not, for 83 consecutive months. You can tell I love to mark time. We have been trying not to complain for 21 consecutive days in a row. If you haven't gotten the app already, please do. Made by Teenagers. Go look at the preview on YouTube. But just go to my website, drmarissa.tv. Sign up for free so that when you do not complain for 21 consecutive days, you will get a prize, a pack of my motivational cards, 52 card pick-me-ups, stacking the deck for life balance with Dr. Marissa. And let's see. So today is day 1. That means if you've already complained today, it's okay. Today is Self-Awareness Day. Just keep track of how many times you actually complained today so you have your baseline to improve on for tomorrow. Next month, I'm invited to cover Share Inc., 65 years of philanthropy with the annual Boontown Gala honoring Laureen Arbus and featuring a performance by the Righteous Brothers. You've lost that loving feeling. And by Martha and the Vandellas, Dancing in the Streets. I don't have that one as well down. But anyways, one afternoon in 1953, 7 women, some wives of the infamous Rat Pack, you probably know a lot of these people, met for lunch with a mission to passionately improve the lives of children and adults with special needs. Fast forward 65 years, Cher has now raised an impressive $65 million for multiple charities with a night out to remember. For tickets, excuse me, go to www.share4children.org. That's share4children.com. And let's see, Newport Beach Film Festival. The European spotlights are tonight, Tuesday night, and then Thursday is closing night. So if you want to join me, go to www.newportbeachfilmfest.com, and I will see you there on the carpet. Next week, it's another great Mother's Day gift, since it is my favorite month. The mother of invention, who was named by New York Times mega best-selling author Neil Donald Walsch, who, by the way, wrote an endorsement for my book, which is very difficult because he does not usually give endorsements. He actually has to read the entire book, which he did. And if you flash my book, I did forget to officially drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? But I am telling you now about my upcoming book, New York publisher Morgan James. It's being released in August on the bookshelf, Barnes & Noble, August 7th, and the launch party is on the 11th. So save the date, come to the beach, and unveil 8 ways to happiness from wherever you are. So this is specifically for overachievers who are depressed and taking medication for depression or anxiety and are still depressed and anxious and have horrible side effects on top of it. It's an inside-out book and a workbook for anyone who wants to be happy 88% of the time. So it is on pre-order now, Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I would love for you to get a copy. I'll sign it happily. I want you to be happy 88% of the time. So next week, to celebrate, Barbara Marx Hubbard, who is has been named by Neil Donald Walsch as the mother of invention. She will be here. She's the American visionary and the mother of conscious evolution. So we continue this Mother's Day month with another fabulous mother following the supreme mother today that I had on the air, Marion Ross. So keep it tuned always to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
My name's Craig Ebel. Join me Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for my show, It's Polka Time.